Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's class. I actually had a no call, no show this morning, so I figured I would create a video for you guys to learn from. Yes, this person was also on a package, so they are already paid, and my systems have my booty covered in the instance of a no call, no show. So yours should too. So today I wanted to talk about how to create more consistency in your massage practice. So this is something that's been coming up for a lot of massage therapists. I just hosted my masterclass on this topic, the Freedom from Feast and Famine masterclass. I'll put the link to that replay in the video notes here as well. So you can enjoy that and you can learn a little bit more about the concepts that I like to use and the different ideas I've come up with to beat feast and famine. So today, let's expand that idea just a little bit. Let's talk about creating some consistency in your massage practice. Now, right now in 2025, people are feeling a little unsettled. I'm noticing people are a little concerned about the economy. People are nervous about money. And I don't want you to fall into this trap yourself. People's struggles, our struggles, your struggles are real and super valid. And you also have the opportunity here to create something that is super stable despite the economy. You can create something for yourself, for your family, for your community that is reliable and steady, no matter what's going on outside of your practice, no matter what's going on in the global economy or the national economy. You have control over what you want to create. Okay, so I just want to get that out of the way because that can become a deep rooted idea that can sabotage us before we even start. Okay, so I just don't want us going down that road. So, if you're new around here, my name is Erin. I am a 14-year veteran of massage therapy, and I am in Aurora, Colorado, and I have added into my offerings, helping massage therapists to create a business and a life that they love using the Balance Biz method and my program. So I'll share a little tiny bit about that towards the end of this video, but today let's get right into this content. I want to make sure that this class is something you can use right away and you enjoy the heck out of it, and I hope it creates some pivotal shifts in your practice that last for a lifetime, really, right? So for me personally, I used to think that consistency in business meant I just needed to get more clients, right? Can you relate to that? Like, oh, if I just had a few more clients, this would be solid. I'd be fine. But what I actually needed was like true stability, stability in income, energy, and in structure. So being good at massage is not enough to have a consistent practice as much as we want that to be true, okay? You need systems that keep things flowing, even and especially when life starts to get really chaotic. So in today's class, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to create that consistency. And it's going to be the kind of consistency that lets you finally exhale and let go, right? Stop hustling between feast and famine and actually enjoy running your business again. Does that sound like something we could use? Yes? A show of hands, yes? So let's start with the why here, right? Because it's the heartbeat of this conversation. So when your schedule is super full one week and then empty the next, your nervous system never gets to take that break and recover. You never really get to relax. Not to mention all of the logistical issues around that too. You can't plan vacations, you can't plan for your bills, and you start to question whether you're like bad at business when really you're just missing structure. Okay. So inconsistent income creates emotional instability, and maybe you're in a place where that feels super relatable and super real. Consistent income creates safety, right? On the flip side of that, emotional instability leads to burnout, right? Consistent income creates safety. Safety in your body, safety in your money, safety in your ability to rest, right? And that's what consistency gives you on a deeper level. And it's what we build inside the Balance Biz program. But let's walk through how you can start building it right now. So, number one, educating clients on the importance of consistency. So, clients can't prioritize what they don't understand. I want you to repeat that to yourself again. If they think massage is just about relaxing, they'll come in when they're in pain or stressed, and then they're going to disappear the minute they feel better. Do you have clients like this? Have you had clients like this in the past? I know I have. And for them, it's a nice to have, not a must have, right? Which means you get sort of downgraded in their priorities, both with time, with logistics, and with money, right? When your clients understand how consistent care affects their recovery, their posture, and their stress levels, they're going to start to value that frequency. It is up to you to educate your clients in this way to help them understand, bridge the gap, and make the connection between, hey, this is where you are, this is where you want to be, this is how you get there. And it's not by coming in once every 6 months, dear client. It's by coming in once a week until we XYZ so you can ABC, right? So you need to be able to verbalize this in a way that makes sense to them and is relatable for them and their issues. Okay. So some things you can try as early as this week. So I want you to integrate education into every single session. So before, during, after every single massage, you know, connecting the dots for your clients, right? So after your session, you could say something like, what we worked on today. And this helps them understand that this is part of a process. Okay. This is so important. What we worked on today was releasing your traps or whatever. Those muscles are responding to long hours at your desk. And with regular care, dear client, we can train those muscles to hold less tension over time. And here you're helping them see massage as maintenance as opposed to crisis care, right? If we have trained our clients or failed to educate our clients that the only way to get to where they want to go is through consistency, they've got no incentive to come in other than when they're already in pain. That's the signal. That's the start of that cycle. You get to come in, educate, and lead them towards the solution that they want by connecting these dots, right? You can also use visual or written education. This is something I do all the time. I have a laminated, it's pretty big skeleton. And what I'll do is grab an expo marker that's in my desk and I'll demonstrate to them. This is what happens with your forward head posture. This is how it's affecting your upper back. This is how it's affecting your shoulders and your pecs and your core and your low back. And I'll draw arrows and I'll draw the muscles themselves. People start to understand what exactly it is that you're doing, and they start to understand the connection, right? Education needs to be the foundation of everything when it comes to your consistency in your practice, okay? I just got off on a little bit of a tangent there, and that's okay. You can also create simple handouts, create blog posts, right? Or even quick story videos explaining the why behind consistent sessions. Things like, how long does muscle memory last after a massage? Or why 4 weeks between sessions isn't enough for pain relief, or whatever your niche is, okay? I run a pain relief clinic and I have for 14 years, and a couple of other diagrams that I have laminated at my desk, laminated because they feel really solid and nice and they don't get wrecked in my desk because I'm not super careful with my stuff, to be honest. That's how I get ahead of that. But I do have 3 or 4 different conditions, like upper cross syndrome, and there's a diagram of that explaining. You guys have seen the one with the big red X on it. At least I hope you have. And it explains what muscles are tight, what muscles are weak or loose, right? So that's immensely helpful. I've got one for plantar fasciitis because that's one that I really love to treat. So these are great ways in office for you to help your client understand exactly why you're doing what you're doing, lead them back to your signature process and your system. Let me know if you want access to a free way to create your own signature system, and I'll put the link to that in the video notes here as well. And it helps position you as the expert. They're going to want to come back into you because they trust that you know what you're talking about and that you can help them with their specific problem. Okay, so use visual or written education in whatever format feels best for you. I also want you to start making recommendations with confidence. So many therapists I talk to make recommendations, but it feels a little wishy-washy. It feels like a a maybe. It feels like they're not really owning their expertise or their mastery of their skill. And I don't want you to fall into this trap because it is contagious and your clients will feel it right off the bat. I can absolutely guarantee it. Okay. And I don't want you feeling like you are under recommending out of fear of sounding salesy or pushy. Okay. Clients are craving leadership. They came to you for a reason, and being able to step up as the leader and the advocate for their wellness and their health is a powerful place to be that you deserve to be. You have everything you need. You are beyond qualified to make this happen for yourself, right? And to help other people get to where they want to go. Own that, please. Okay. You can try saying something to your clients like, hey, Sarah, so to reach your goal of running again by spring, I recommend every 2 weeks for the next 2 months, and then we'll reassess. This gives us a chance to see what's working, see what's not working, and then we're able to pivot. Right. So as long as you're A, B, C, doing your home care, you're coming in consistently and you're taking this seriously, then we are going to be able to get to where you want to go. We'll get you running by spring, right? This shows professionalism. This isn't pushy. This isn't salesy. This isn't aggressive. This is you stepping up and owning your leadership. And not only do you need you to do that, but your entire community needs you to do that because everybody is looking for somebody to tell them what they need to be doing to feel better in their bodies, more relaxed, and out of pain, right? So I also want you to think about getting clients to buy into their own healing process. So you're not selling massage sessions. You need to remember that you are guiding and facilitating a transformation. So when your clients buy in emotionally and mentally, you don't have to convince them to rebook. Okay. And this helps to create some consistency throughout your schedule. If you feel at any time, or if you've resisted offering something because you feel you need to convince somebody to do it, you're going to be out of alignment. You're never going to sell the thing. You're never going to promote the offer, right? So just keep that in mind. You don't need to be convincing people. You need to help clients buy in emotionally and mentally. So try this. You always want to be mirroring their goals back to them. So when they say, I just want to get rid of this neck pain, I'm so tired of it, you can reflect. Okay, so what I'm hearing is you want to be able to work all day without feeling drained by 3 p.m. Let's build a plan around that, right? And this creates a shared ownership, and it also helps you get some clarity on the everyday issues that they are struggling with that you'll be able to help with. The more your clients feel you can relate to them, and the more you obviously understand their issues, the more they're going to trust you and the more they're going to want to come back. How many times have clients come into you, or how many times have you been in for a session with a therapist and everything just felt a little cold, impersonal? They were following a routine, they didn't ask you a lot of questions, and you didn't necessarily feel like you got what you needed. This is a lack of leadership, a lack of empathy, and mirroring is the first step to mastering this. Okay. I also want you to start tracking progress together with your clients. So there's a good chance, especially if you're in the pain relief space, but potentially even if you're if you're taking the stress relief side of massage very seriously in your practice, there's a good chance you're already tracking progress, right? Whether that looks like something in an app. I'm also building an app very soon for massage therapists to use for their clients. Stay tuned. Very, very exciting. Maybe it's in a spreadsheet, maybe it's just in their notes, whatever it might be. Hopefully you are tracking. And if you're not, no big deal. But this is going to help with the consistency because they're going to be able to see, aha, this is actually working. Another thing that happens, so I have a client who I actually just saw yesterday, and she has a lot of different issues all over the place. A lot of it's autoimmune, so it's a bit of a whack-a-mole situation, but there's pain here, pain over here. It's kind of whatever is showing up is new and different. But the last two sessions, she initially started coming in for really severe headaches, neck pain, and what appeared to be thoracic outlet syndrome, right? So we were treating her for that. And the past several sessions, she didn't mention the neck pain or the thoracic outlet syndrome symptoms, but she didn't mention that. So I had to remind her, I said, hey, client, How's the neck and shoulder issue going? Remember, that's why you came in here initially. Just wanted to mention, because you mentioned all these other areas, but you didn't mention what you initially came in for. So I just wanted to see where we're at with that. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I actually haven't thought about that in about a month." Right? Which shows, hey, when you're living in your body, sometimes these transformations and these changes are a little bit harder to track. So facilitate that for them and with them and track progress together. So after a few sessions, you can say to your clients, "Remember when you couldn't turn your head to the left without pain? Now look at your range of motion." Help them see their results. Progress creates that loyalty. Okay. And of course, when it comes to rebooking, you want to replace, and you've heard all this before. And if you've been in my group, the Balanced Bodywork Business Group, you already understand this because I hammer it into your guys' heads. So replace phrases like, "Do you want to rebook?" Or "Let me know when you'd like to come back," with "Let's get your next session on the schedule so we can keep building on this progress." Okay. And that subtle leadership energy creates a ton of consistency. And that's not something a lot of massage clients, whether that's in a relaxation universe or a pain relief universe, are used to experiencing. That usually comes from doctors or DOs or physical therapists or chiropractors, right? But we get to step up to the plate and own our mastery. And that helps create a ton of consistency in our practice over time. Okay. Next up is to create a wait list before you think you need one. And a wait list isn't just for therapists who are fully booked. Okay. And you might be thinking, "Well, I don't really need one because I just need clients to come in." Remember what I said at the top of this session, that you don't just need more clients, you need a system and a process to help you create that consistency. And a wait list is part of that system. The sooner you get that started, the sooner it's going to fill up. Okay. So when clients know you have limited availability, they are going to respect your time more and book sooner. Okay. So that's super, super important. So some things you can try is starting your waitlist now. Mine is really, really basic. It's actually just in my Samsung Notes in my phone. And I also use Square waitlist, which is brilliant because when somebody cancels, these people on the waitlist automatically get a notification and then they can schedule, right? Gorgeous. We love that. It can be really, really simple is what I am getting at. So the one that's on my phone is more manual. It's a little bit more work. I have to keep up with it, check in every time there's a cancellation, check the list, right? And kind of cross-reference all the things. The Square waitlist is a little bit more automated, but not everybody's on it. So use a system or a process that works for you. Whatever you do, start your waitlist today. I don't care if nobody's on it. Start it today. Okay. Use a note on your phone, like I said, Google Sheet or your scheduling app's built-in feature. And you can say to your clients, "I am currently booking about 2 weeks out, but I can add you to my waitlist when something opens up sooner." Okay. You can also promote your waitlist regularly. You can post it on your social media or your email list. And you can say something like, "My regular clients book a few weeks in advance, but you can hop on my wait list for cancellations or early openings," right? And I always joke with my clients, I'm in the people business, so stuff is going to change all the time. It's a great idea to get on the wait list. And even if something doesn't work out, at least you'll have that opportunity and you'll be able to see when something opens up, right? You can also text people personally. So when a gap opens up, send a short message. "Hey, Sam, I just had a 3:30 open tomorrow. Want in?" You're not begging for clients, okay? Just like, let's throw that idea and that energy out the window. You're offering opportunities, right? So I have noticed over time, because when I very first started and I started to reach out to my clients directly, it felt intrusive and overbearing, right? I was like, who am I to be texting these clients? But the more I did it, not only the more comfortable I got, but also the more I started noticing that clients would say, "Thank you. Hey, thank you so much for thinking of me. I can't make it." Or, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you thought of me. My neck is killing me. I'll happily take that appointment spot." Right? So get the idea out of your head that you're begging for clients, that you're pushing for sales or something. Um, or that you're being really intrusive. You're offering opportunities for people to get better. And that is owning your leadership, and it creates a ton of consistency in your practice. Okay. So even if you only fill half of those appointments, theoretically, you've built perception and momentum. And these are two of the biggest drivers of consistency. So, moving right along, let's talk a little bit about mastering the art of filling last minute gaps in your schedule. So, even the most consistent therapists get cancellations. That's why I'm here doing this call right now because I got one and I've been doing this for a long time. It's just business, it's not personal. So, the difference between therapists who panic and therapists who profit is simply preparation. Okay. So, what I want you to do is keep a VIP text list. And I love this. I used this a ton when I was starting my massage practice, and it was momentous. So good. Ask your 3 to 5 most flexible clients or people who live close by, right? Things like that, if they'd like to be notified when a spot opens up. Text only those people and not your entire list to create a sense of exclusivity. So I've got a client who's dealing with frozen shoulder right now. She really does need to be coming in twice a week for the stage the shoulder is at, and the fact that she won't slow down. I love you to pieces, but you gotta slow down. But she won't. So we are constantly playing catch up. So she needs to be coming in pretty regularly. And she's told me, she says, hey, I want this to get better. I want this to get better. By the way, I have already texted her for the appointments today. This appointment that, yes, so that didn't work out. But it was worth a shot because she told me I live really, really close by and I want to get this taken care of. So please text me anytime you have any availability, even if it's same day. Great. Top of the wait list, right? And I manually added her to the automated wait list as well. So she gets those notifications every time. So I want you to automate your visibility as well. So this is a great way to systemize your availability and make sure that it's getting visible as well. So create a Canva template that says a spot just opened. Post it to your Instagram stories or Facebook in under 60 seconds. Keep that, star the template, change the colors every once in a while, and make it really attention grabbing and branded with your colors, and just rinse and repeat. Okay. And make sure you've got a really clear call to action so people know exactly what they need to be doing. Okay. You can also remember to have your messaging ready, please. Say something like, heads up, a rare 90-minute appointment spot open for tomorrow at 11 a.m. Text me directly if you want it before it's gone, right? Super simple stuff. Don't discount either. Instead, considering adding value. Instead of lowering your price, don't do that. And I know it can be really tempting, especially when we're trying to fill those last minute appointments. But instead, say something like, book this last minute spot and get a complimentary aromatherapy or stretch session. It fills the gap and it elevates your brand. Okay. So there are a few productive things you can do when you can't fill the gaps. I also have a set of flashcards for this. It's called your 2-minute needle movers, and those are available in my products. And I'll link that yet again in the video notes for this video. So sometimes, let's be real, the spot just won't fill. And that's okay. That's what happened to me today. So the key is using that time intentionally, like connecting with you guys. Oh. So work on visibility first and foremost. So write a client education post, record a quick video tip, or email your list. Did you know, like saying something like, did you know consistent massage can lower cortisol levels by up to 30%, which means for you, dear client, blah, 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 blah. You can also take this time to improve your systems. You can update your intake forms, automate follow-up emails, or organize your client files. So I will say in the Balance Biz community, this is stuff that comes up all the time. And when there's those last minute availabilities that just won't fill up, right? We've done all the things, we've texted all the people, we've dotted our I's and we've crossed our T's, and it just won't fill up. I make a deliberate point of helping the members of the community to de-escalate the situation in their brain, create some neutrality. We're not going to build a story around the situation. And instead, how do we want to use this time? How do we want to feel? And how do we move forward with that feeling in mind, right? So some of this comes down to the logistics and how we're actually using our time. And a lot of it is mindset. And we cover all of that stuff in the Balance Biz community together, right? Another thing you can do, my favorite and totally underrated activity with a little bit of free time, is to do some market research. Review what services are booking the fastest or what days are filling first. This is data for your next schedule adjustment or your next rate adjustment. See what other people are doing in your community and in your immediate neighborhood. Kind of scope out your competition and see if anything shows up for you. What makes you stand out? Where could you stand out a little more? Are there things that you're offering that nobody else is? Are your rates comparable? Do you want to be comparable, etc.? And of course, regulate your nervous system. Walk, stretch, meditate, journal, whatever you got to do. We love to use EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping in the Balance Biz community. This is a great way to get out of your head and into your body, especially when there are stressful things going on. So that's one of our go-to methods and strategies for regulating our nervous system when things don't go as expected. So keep in mind that consistency requires calm, right? Recharging in between clients, and especially when there's some unexpected turbulence, creates a lot of long-term sustainability. Okay. When your body knows that it's safe despite the chaos, you're going to make better decisions in the moment, and your body's going to continue supporting you in your big decisions you have to make in your practice, right? So you also want to be tracking your numbers. Always, 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 always. You cannot fix what you don't measure. Track your monthly income, your rebooking percentage, and your retention. If your rebooking rate is under 60%, that is your first project. You can also simplify your offers in this time. Too many options creates a lot of paralysis, right? So focus on 3 or 4 core services that represent your best work in your massage business and build your marketing around those. Where are you finding, whether it's on your website or on your socials or in your emails or anywhere else that you are displaying all your information and your menu of services, where are these getting a little bit chaotic and messy and to be too much, right? You can also set some energetic boundaries here. So, consistency without boundaries is going to lead to burnout no matter what. Protect your days off, your mornings, and your creative time. Your business will be more consistent when you are more consistent. Okay. So, these strategies are like the what, right? These are simple, they're super doable, and I promise you all of them work, but only if you implement them consistently. And that's the hardest part I notice with massage therapists and when you're running a business alone. So, inside the Balance Biz community, we take these strategies and actually build them out together one step at a time. You'll have the systems, the scripts, templates, accountability, which is huge, and the community you need to turn these ideas into daily habits that create consistent income and freedom. You don't have to figure this all out by yourself anymore. So, if you're ready for a business that runs really smoothly, feels calm, and supports the life you actually want, come join me and all the other incredible massage therapists inside the Balance Biz community. You've got the what. I'm going to help you master the how, right? Let's make consistency your new normal. I also have one bonus tip, so I hope you stuck around to the end because this one is a big one. So I want you to focus on the clientele in your practice and take a look at who's been really, really consistent, kind of do a clientele audit. And I want you to remember to be super diverse with your clientele. Okay, so especially when things get a little rocky in the economy, if you only have, let's say, government employees, for one example, right now the government is shut down and it has been for 2 weeks approximately, I think, for a while. But if all my clientele were government employees and now everybody has been laid off, that leaves my business extremely vulnerable. Whereas if I have a ton of clients who are in the tech sector, and then I've got clients who are nurses and work in hospitals, and then I've got plumbers, and I've got people who work for nonprofits, and I've got people who are entrepreneurs, right? So this diversification of our clientele keeps things incredibly safe. It's like a pantheon that has a whole bunch of pillars and it's super safe, as opposed to I work with government workers and the government is shut down. Your entire business is going to shut down, correct? So we don't want that. And I also recommend doing some research on companies, not companies, on industries and fields that are recession proof. And this is an incredible thing. I did this a few years ago. And what I noticed is a lot of the time Uh, Ironically, government workers came up on that list, nurses in hospitals, a lot of service-based industries, electricians, plumbers, roofers, things like that are very much recession-proof industries. And start to network with those people. Get those types of folks on your schedule, and you're going to have a ton of consistency, even when everybody else is struggling with their practice and everybody else, all your competitors in the area are like, man, oh, my clients are just totally dipping out. I have no idea what to do, and they're panicking. Not you, because you've got all these tips and more. Your clientele is super diversified. You've got strategies for how to fill your gaps. Your rebooking is absolutely mastered. You're tracking all your numbers and everything else we talked about. So put some of these into action. And if you want a community that is going to support you and keep you accountable as you do this, please feel free to reach out. I'll put some more information, just like everything else, in the show notes here. And I hope you love this video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.